Bo Katan's Mandalorian fleet is about to go to war, and thanks to the latest episode of The Mandalorian, we now know what ships it'll have at its disposal, including a new addition to the fleet that really gives it some bite to back up its bark. So what are the ships that make up this fleet? How many are there? And are they up to the task of fighting off Moff Gideon and his army of Mandalorian cosplayers? Well, as the Mandalorian fleet departed Navarro to reclaim Mandalore, we got our first proper look at the fleet in its full glory. And from what I can make out, it comprises one Class 546 Arquitans command cruiser, formerly belonging to Moff Gideon, that serves as the fleet's flagship. 4 or 5 Gazanti-class assault carriers, which essentially are glorified cargo transport ships, with added hull armour and shielding. And while these ships certainly make the Mandalorian fleet look larger and more impressive, they and the 3 laser cannon turrets on each ship add little to the fleet's overall combat potential, with these ships serving the fleet more in an auxiliary capacity. Now, I say that there were 4 or 5 of these Gazanti carriers, as this fleet appears to lose one of the ships between Navarro and Mandalore. It's not destroyed or anything, it just looks like the people making the show forgot about it, as the fleet in general looks slightly smaller upon arriving at Mandalore. We can also spot 8 Gauntlet-class fighter transports, an incredibly versatile ship that doubles up as both a troop transport capable of deploying 24 troops into the most hostile of drop zones, and a competent starfighter of remarkable maneuverability for a ship larger than a light freighter. We covered these 3 ships in depth in a recent video which has just appeared at the top of the screen, so I won't go too in depth into these ships' specific specifications, but there is one other ship that we need to take a look at. As spotted for the first time flying alongside the fleet was a large number of Fang-class starfighters. Through countless rewatching of the same 5-second clip, I managed to count 36 of these starfighters in total, but I could be wrong. There could also be a bunch of them housed in the Arquitans hangar, and the fleet could also have lost a handful of them in the scene transition from Navarro to Mandalore, as it did with the Gazanti. While slightly slower than their larger Gauntlet-class siblings, the Fang starfighter have a level of agility and maneuverability near unmatched amongst the galaxy's starfighters. This is thanks to their S-foil wings that can rotate themselves independently of the rest of the craft, allowing each wing's powerful ion engine to maneuver the ship in unnatural ways, whilst engaged in a dogfight against enemy ships. And then when the Fang has its targets in its sight, the Fang can unleash its power of its 2 wing-mounted laser cannons and its single underside proton torpedo. For a more in-depth breakdown of the Fang, and how it compares to other ships, we have another video for that up here. But for now, we'll be moving on to explore just how well this fleet stacks up against Moff Gideon's own fleet of starfighters and bombers that he's about to unleash on the unsuspecting Mandalorian ships. And to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure how to pit these 2 fleets against each other, as the number of ships available to Gideon is currently unknown. I counted what I think is at least 16 TIE interceptors and between 12 and 24 TIE bombers, housed within Gideon's base in the caverns of Mandalore, but there's likely more in there somewhere. We're also not sure yet whether there are any other larger ships available to Gideon, although for argument's sake, given that he only launched the interceptors and bombers, we'll just say that he has launched a decent number of these craft to engage the Mandalorian starfighters and bomb the larger ships. Personally, I feel that if it weren't for the element of surprise being on Gideon's side, the Mandalorian fleet would have the advantage in this fight, as while the TIE interceptors have the Fang Fighters beat when it comes to weaponry and speed, the large number of these agile Fangs could capably deal with a decent number of Empire starfighters, whilst the Gauntlets mop up the TIE bombers. If, however, the interceptors can take the Mandalorian fleet by surprise, and destroy a decent enough number of Fangs and Gauntlet craft in an initial strike, then I feel like the TIE bombers have a decent chance of swooping in and annihilating the Arquitans and Gazanti ships, whilst the smaller craft defending them are on the back foot and engaged in a bitter battle with the interceptors. After all, the larger ships of the Mandalorian fleet aren't really armed to the teeth with the kind of point defense system capable of dealing with small crafts, such as the slow-moving TIE bombers. The Gazantis do have a small number of laser cannon turrets, but potentially not enough to deal with what they have coming at them, while the Arquitans' 4 turbo laser batteries may be effective against capital ships, but they're damn near useless against fast-moving, smaller fighters and bombers. What do you think? Personally, I feel like as long as enough of the Mandalorian fighters can stay in the fight long enough to deal with the TIE bombers, Bo Katan's fleet should win comfortably. But that just wouldn't make for good TV. Let me know your thoughts down below, and also tell me what you think happened to that missing Kazanti ship. Make sure to subscribe for more lore and follow us on our socials. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.